Hello, I'm Amalia Anugrah Putri from English Education Department. I am part of the class of 2023 from Class A. In this recording, I'm going to talk about my learning experience in CDA course that I took in my fourth semester. In this course, I learned many important things about CDA. First, I studied what CDA is, its aim, its key features. Then I explored the connection between language and ideology and how ideology affects how people use language. I also learned about four CDA frameworks, which are Van Dyck, Fairclough, Wodak, and Van Loon's framework. CDA helped me understand that language is never neutral. It always carries meaning and power. Through CDA, I can now see how every word can show someone's positions or reflect power in a specific context. One thing I really liked about this course was how my lecturer gave us chances to experience the theory directly. My group and I worked together to find news articles and we need to analyze it using Van Dyck's framework. The headline used the word polemic, which made it sound neutral. But when we read the full article, we noticed it supported the government's side more clearly. That made me realize how small word choices can hide deeper meanings and shape opinions. I helped my group by sharing these observations and connecting it with what we learned in class. I also added my own view about how language shows power. That made our analysis more original because we were not just repeating the theory, we were using our thoughts and to explore the message in a text. Before I joined this course, I was not sure what CDA actually was. It was something totally new to me. At first, it felt very hard and confusing. I didn't understand the frameworks clearly and I didn't know how to use them in real analysis. But after practicing in class and working with my friends in a group discussions, I slowly started to understand better. One challenge I had was finding the structure of the frameworks in a real text. It needed focus and critical thinking, but one small habit helped me. I always wrote notes every time my lecturer repeated the explanations after we finished an analysis task. I used those notes when I did the next assignment. This helped me understand more clearly and gave me more confidence. Now, when I read text, I do not just read the informations. I can see that there is power behind it. There's always a message, an idea, or a side being shown, even if it's not very clear. This course made me more aware and helped me become a better critical thinker. As a future teacher, I believed CDA can be a very useful tool in teaching English. I want my students to see that language is not just about grammar and vocabulary. It also carries meaning, power, and beliefs. I want to help my students understand that when they read a text, they should look deeper. A text is never written without a purpose. It always shows a point of view. To do that, I will guide my students to explore text by asking questions like what message the writer is trying to send or who is being shown in a positive or negative way. I want them to experience this learning process, not just sit in class and listen to a set of theories. They will explore and find meaning by themselves. When students discover things through their own analysis, the learning becomes more meaningful. I will also encourage my students to speak their minds. I want them to feel free to share their ideas because every student has a different voice and I believe CDA can help students become more critical and confident. They will not only learn language but also learn how language works in real life. I want them to be aware that language can shape ideas and reflect power. This kind of awareness is something I really want to give to my future students. To sum up, this course changed the way I understand language and text. I learned how to look deeper into text and find the meaning and power behind words. I discovered many things through analysis and group work. It helped me build stronger awareness. I also realized how important it is to be original and critical in academic work. When we find our own voice and think deeply, learning becomes more meaningful and powerful.